So much. And the last but not least speaker today is Francesco. So he's the general manager, yeah, of Nomadic Minds.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, of Nomadic Minds, which is
Hello.
like this amazing movement.
Yeah, it's a network of plus 300 CEOs from the Valley that now want to investing in Europe.
So yeah, let's hear what you have to tell us.
Yes.
Applause.
Thank you, you both. So, thank you guys to be here. This is the last, I'll be quick and funny. Today, we'll walk you through a step-by-step process on how to raise a Series A. At the beginning, I will tell you a couple of things that you should know on the difference between seed and Series A, and then I'll do something that I should not do. I will tell you a couple of dirty secrets that the investors don't want you to know 100%, and that will help you to increase a lot this chance to get Series A. I really think that after this call, after this page, I'm not going to be able to raise money in the Baltic anymore. But I don't care, I'm working in the Valley. So let's start. I'll start with a story about me. So how does this, like, there should be the sequence? Oh, it's not working, okay. So when I was 16, I had a dream. The dream was basically owning a Vespa. So I saved money to get my Vespa. And then I took the driving license, and then I moved to London, so I had to do everything again. Select the Vespa, raising money to get the Vespa, and then finally get my Vespa in London. I forgot one thing. I didn't know how to drive the Vespa, so after 3 days, that's what happened to my Vespa. This thing is really similar to what a lot of seed startups they do. They spend years and years and years to build a good company, raise the first million, raise 2 millions, then they build the sales process. But then they not pay attention how to raise a Series A. That is the most important and most difficult round you can actually raise. 85% of seed stage startups, they don't raise a Series A. So out of 10, 8.5, they just fail. And 1.5, they raise the Series A. So right now, I'm going to basically show you these dirty tricks that will help you to raise this money. So, yeah, that's the problem. Is there anything you guys can do? Okay, basically, I'll go this way. So, if you want to raise a seed stage, you need big smile, you need to be confident, you need to have a deck, an MVP, and a bit of traction, okay? If you want to raise a Series A, you need 72 points. And if you want the list of 72 points, there's this one listed here, you can email me or ask the TechChill guys, they're going to give you. So while raising a seed stage is something that doesn't require you a lot of documents, raising a Series A will require you 1 month to prepare the documents and another month at the end of the negotiation to bring the legal document to the investors. So when do you need, if you want to raise a Series A, even in 6 months, when do you need to start to prepare the document? Yesterday. Now, you want to meet investors. How would you meet investors? It's easy. If you want to raise a Series A, you should aim to meet at least 30 investors, and you should meet them in the event. You should ask for intros and eventually direct email. So this is the way you meet investors. If you don't have intro to investors, what you do is you look at the startups they founded, you select one that you like, you contact them, and you give them a favor. You say, I'll introduce you to a lead, I'll introduce you to a customer, I'll introduce you to whatever you want. And then after a couple of weeks, you say, okay, can you please introduce me to your investors, please? And then you get a warm lead. When do you need to start to reach out to investors? Yesterday. Even if you are not planning to raise any money right now, you have to know those people and getting their trust. So right now, go outside, take a bit, and speak with as many investors as you can. So when you're going to be ready to raise your Series A, you can talk to them and say, hey, do you remember me? And they will always say yes, even if they don't. Now you go meeting with investors. What they want, basically they want to understand if you ever going to be a $800 million company. So basically there are 7 points that they will look at you. First of all, traction. So these numbers actually, they could be true, but they couldn't. So there's a company called Zenly that raised, and they had 1/3 of this number, so 1/3 of 100K monthly RR. There's company that go 300K monthly recurring revenue, but still are not able to raise. So you never know. What's absolutely important is though, is first of all, you have to have an amazing team and amazing ability to attract great team player. What does it mean? Obviously, if you're a startup, you can hire a VP of Facebook, okay? But even if you are a guy that used to work at McDonald's and clean the floor in a restaurant, and now he's your VP of sales, you have to show that he's a superstar. You have to show that, yes, he used to work at McDonald's, but right now he's making 50% of revenue. So we know how to select the right people. Why? Because if you think about it, a company is a group of people. And if you're not able to hire the right people, they're going to make bad decisions and your company will fail. Really important thing, CAC lower than LTV, so unit economics. If you are profitable, is good. If you are about to be profitable, we take it. If you're everything but profitable, close the company, it's not your thing. Another important thing, last thing, total addressable market. So if you want to be an $800 million company, this TAM should be huge. Huge, huge, huge. It should be absolutely big. So if you are into a small market, please expand it. So find new product or new market you can go. Because otherwise you'll never be able to raise. I've seen amazing companies with amazing people. So VP of super big $1 million consumer startups that create a company that is profitable, is making a lot of money, but they are into a small market, so they're not able to raise money. So they're making 200K per month. They're the leader, but if the market is small, they're not going to raise money. If you tick all the boxes, your chance to raise a Series A is 30%. Still nothing. So basically, 1 out of 3 will get the Series A with all these boxes ticked. 2 out of 3 they won't. They will probably fail. It's still good because, as I say beginning, 15% of the startups, they raise the seed, they raise a Series A, but this is not enough. There is something that will dramatically increase your chance to raise a Series A. And that's the dirty secrets that basically I should not tell you about. Who cares? And that's what will make a lot of difference. And that's what all the massive and big and super effective fundraisers that I've seen, they've got this secret ingredient, okay? I'm telling you about the swing effect. So, this is a swing. How does the swing work? If you want to go up, you need to push back. If you want to go up and up and up, you need to push back and back and back. And if you want to go up, 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 you need to push. Can you say it again, please? 1, 2, 3. It's fine. So, I'll take it. So, this is something that happens in our mind every day. We want things that we cannot have. And when someone is pushing us, we want them badly. If a guy or a girl that you know is pushing you out, you start thinking he's interesting or she's interesting. If you see something that you cannot afford, if you see a Rolex, okay, the Rolex tell you the same time of a Casio, okay? There's no difference. But you cannot afford the Rolex, so you like it. If you see something that you cannot have, you always like it. In my last startups, we were like selling as crazy. But then we flipped the mode, and instead of selling, we were kind of questioning the customer and saying, I don't know if you're the right customer for me. This increased by 200% the sales. Flipping down the table, transforming the customer into the salesman, and the salesman into the customer, that's what will get you everywhere. That's what will get the classic FOMO, fear of missing out. And that's the secret that every investors know why. Because basically, how does the VC world works? They invest in 10 companies, and they hope that one going to make it big and none will fail. But this one, they're going to make it big, will pay for everything, okay? So if you are a partner and you invest in the wrong company, and this company fail, your GP won't fire you, it's fine. But if you are a partner and you find the right company, but you don't invest in it, and this company became huge, you got problems. So you need to explain them and create in them the fear of missing out. You need to push them back. You need to say them, I don't need you. You need me because I'm going to be big. Who are you? There's plenty of money in this world, but they just want me. Okay? How are you going to do it? Let's go into practice. There's two ways you can do it. That you should do it at the same time. Okay? Again, I'm going to tell you this. The VC is not going to like it. But again, who cares? So you need to do it. When you're raising, how you build FOMO. You talk with all the VCs in parallel. And they will start talking about you to each other. So VCs always talk to each other. So I'm raising money, I contact 30 VCs, and they will start saying, hey, have you heard about Francesco company? Yes, I'm talking to him. Yeah, I'm talking to him as well. What do you think? And I start talking. What you do is start from the lesser known VC and from the angel investor to secure a bit of round. So you say to them, I already got some money, so people are interested in me. And then you practice. So you start with the worst, and then you go with the best. Then you have to take all the discussion at the same time. So first chat with the first VC, first chat with the second VC, until the third. And then you have to do the due diligence, so due diligence with the first VC and stuff like that. And if someone is faster, you slow him down. So you say to them, look, I'm on holiday. And if someone is lower, you wait for them. Why? Because at a certain point, out of 30 VCs you're talking to, 10 gonna go home, 20 will be there. And then, out of those 20, 10 gonna go home, and 10 will be at the final meeting. But they will be on the final meeting altogether. There will be 10 days when you will have all the answers. And those VCs, they know that you have all the answers in the same week because they talk with each other. So they say, wait, if I'm not investing, this guy, there's a chance he will invest. So maybe it's the case I do it. If you have a massive, super cool, amazing company, you don't need this. You already have it. So if you are the most famous seed stage startup in the world, you don't need this. You will raise an amazing Series A without me. But if you're not, this is the way to build FOMO. Another important thing, if your runway is less than 10 months, it's good. Why? Because if your runway, if you basically the cash that you got in the bank can keep you alive for 20 months, people will look at you and say, cool, I like you, but let's wait 6 months and maybe I will invest. So you never get the first term sheet. But if your runway is less than 10 months and they say to you, hey, let's wait 6 months, and let's say you say in 6 months I'm not going to be here. So now or never, babe. During the meeting, how you do it? First of all, remember the VCs are the king and you are always the citizen. So VCs are the one with the money that everyone wants to meet, everyone wants to know, everyone wants to impress them, everyone wants to be funny with them, everyone wants to offer them a drink and ask them how their day was. So what happens is that when you use the swing effect, so when you push them, instead of push them forward, you push them back, so you reject them, it's like a swing, you go up. The more you push, the more you go up, because they're not used to. So if soon they see someone, they look at you in the eyes and say, hey, how you doing? Cool. So that's my deck. That's what you do. Let me know if you got any question. Like, I don't care. There's something in their mind, like in everyone's mind, saying, this guy got skills. He doesn't need me. He's important, probably. There's the Rocket Internet investors, the Rocket Internet fundraiser. There's the guy basically built a unicorn. He's probably the coolest fundraiser in the world. What he did, went to the meeting room, cool, there's my LTV. And the investors were like, can you explain a bit more about your LTV? And he's like, that's the number, what do you want more than that? 3 billion raised, 3 billion, guys. The VC is like, well, I'm a bit concerned about your number. You probably don't see good enough. You don't do it, okay, please don't do it. But just an example, the more you push, the higher you get. Like a swing. The more you push, the lower you get. important thing, questioning them. If you start questioning VCs, they will think you got a lot of offers on your back. If you start asking them, yeah, of course, let me know if you got any question on my deck. I've got a couple of questions on you. Are you helping your startups? How are you behaving in the meeting room when there's board meeting? Are you a good person, or you want to basically get your money as soon as you can? I know you got some problem with some startups. Can you clarify it? And then always shut up. You don't need to talk. They just want you, but hundreds of billions in the world. So they need to talk. You just need to answer the question. Once you do this, they will have something in their mind. Once basically you've seen you're super self-assured, you don't give a shit about them. And all the VCs are talking all together in the final round, something will pop in their mind. This guy got something. This guy is important. This guy got skills. I cannot miss this guy. Boom, and you get your Series A. So, if you have your data, if you have your deck, if you have your meetings, what can go wrong? Everything. Absolutely everything. Basically, investors go one reason to say yes, 3,2,500,000 reasons to say no. Okay, I've seen people say, yeah, I like him, I like this company, but he dressed really bad. I've seen VCs saying, I don't like the accent. For me, it's a no. Seems like X Factor sometimes. So, I'm now going to show you the most frequent mistake that I've seen so far. Please take note and then don't do them, okay? There's a problem, guys. So, I can send you the presentation afterwards, but I'm telling you right away. The first one is timing. So timing, don't raise during holidays. Ski week is a thing, so don't raise during ski week. Christmas, Easter, don't raise there. If you are about to get a really bad queue, please don't raise money. When you need to raise money, when you are about to get a really, really good queue. So what's going to happen is that you start talking with investors, you have a really big news, so a new customer coming, new milestone hit, and the end of the queue reports, something big, and you hire something good, someone really good. At that moment, what you need to do is talk with investors, don't mention anything. As soon as you got the news, you email them, say, oh, there's a sign of God. Look, I just talked to you and now I hit 200,000 monthly recurring revenue. What do you think? And the guy will be like, yeah, it's probably a sign of God, I'll invest. I'm joking, huh? Another thing, the deck, no more than 20 minutes, 20, 25 minutes, 30 slides. And remember that you talk with partners, but you sell to GPs, and the partners will sell to the GP. So the partner should sell you. So the deck should be readable by the GP. It means they should be super, super, super easy. Something like here, there's written, push a button, get marijuana. It's one of a company that raised 200 million. It's called Maveron. That's the main slide. That's the only thing they want to see. Two sentences, really strong on what you do. That's it. Again, I create a full template that I send to startups. Email me or ask the guys here. Two important things. Pitch. Never talk too fast. So, the slower you talk, the higher is the attention level that you get. If you talk slow, they pay attention. If you talk fast, they don't care. Don't talk too much. You don't need to impress them. Question, answer. Don't need to brag. Don't need to say you got the deck speaks for itself. If they have question and you always answer. Please, I'll introduce you one customer of mine and he will answer. If they say, are your customer happy with you? I'll introduce them. Are your vendor relying on you? I'll introduce them. Make them speak with your network. Why? Because the more they speak, the more committed they are. It's a psychological and unconscious trick. Once I get connected with your people, I tend to invest more because I know your network and we're friends. three things that I always like a lot when you pitch. There's like a lawyer trick. So if you, all the lawyers, what they do, before state the case, they start telling the weakness, okay? They start away saying, okay, yeah, this guy, yes, he's a bit shady. Yes, was in the wrong time on the wrong moment. They start telling the bad thing ASAP. Why? Because once you tell the bad things, they're forgotten. Okay, we state that we're not profitable. We know that we did some bad things in hiring before, but let's talk about number. And they will never come back to you and say, hey, I know you're not good in hiring. Yeah, I told you. That's the trick that every negotiator and every lawyer use, always. As I say, use reference every time you can and tell specific number. So how many revenues you get? People say over 10,000 paid day. No, you say yesterday 10,252. Today 10,257. They like it. Always block some time every week, write down the question that you get and write the answer that you will get. And last thing, when you finish the investors and they say no, you just ask them why. So you get the feeling and you get the mistakes and iterate. Again, recap, don't buy a Vespa if you don't know how to drive. That's massively important. Book every week a couple of hours to work on your Series A. Get meeting with investors, get your data. Then afterwards, get 30 meetings with potential investors. Start with the worst, go with the best. Practice the pitch, predict the objection, learn how to use the swing effect. It's massively important. Use the FOMO, bring all discussion together, and iterate fast, avoid the landmine that I get you, and remember these things. So why I told you the Vespa thing? Because that's the most important lesson I've learned through my life. Bad things will always happen. Life will give you lemons, and shit always happens. But if you focus on the right thing, you realize that life is the best thing ever. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Francesco.
Thank you so much.